What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today we're diving into a topic that quietly runs a lot of our lives. The idea of the right path. You know the one. Graduate high school, go to college, get a good job, meet someone, get married, buy a house, have kids, repeat. It's sold as a checklist for happiness. But what happens when you follow that path and you still feel empty? Or when your journey doesn't match that at all? Are you failing? Are you behind? Or is it possible that this entire blueprint is just a myth? I want to talk about it, not just because it's been on my mind, but because I know so many people silently struggle with this. So if you've ever felt like you were off track, this one is for you. The narrative of the right path didn't just come out of nowhere, and it was shaped by generations before us. After World War II, there was a cultural shift. Stability had become the ultimate goal. The 9-to-5 job, the house in the suburbs, the nuclear family. These weren't just ideals, they were survival strategies in the uncertain times. But what worked in 1950 does not necessarily make sense today. Technology, globalization, mental health awareness, creative careers, remote work, the entire landscape has completely changed. Yet we're still being fed this outdated roadmap, and if you're not following it, you're made to feel like you are lost. So let's get this clear. The path you're on doesn't need to look like anyone else's. That old model is not the gold standard anymore, and maybe it never actually was. Social media magnifies this pressure, and it gives us a highlight reel of other people's milestones, promotions, engagements, home purchases, travel. We're constantly exposed to success or what may look like success, and it skews our perception of timing. You see someone your age buying a house or getting married, and suddenly you question everything you're doing. You feel behind. But what you don't see is the full story, in the debt that they took on, the doubts they have, and the burnout that they are feeling. Comparison turns into a race, but growth, healing, discovery, none of those happen on a timeline. They happen in seasons, and seasons will look different for everyone. So you're not behind, you're on your path, and that is enough. As long as you are taking the right action. We all experience detours in our journey, and we're taught to view them as failures, as signs that we've messed up. Took a break from school, switched careers, ended a long relationship, you move back home. These moments are framed as setbacks. But what if they're actually not? What if those are the exact moments you're learning the most? You're gaining resilience. You're shredding what doesn't fit. You're learning to pivot. And pivoting is a skill that people who stay on the right path often never develop. Some of the most successful, grounded people I know didn't get there by staying in one straight line. They got there by failing, questioning, trying again. The detour was the development. So if you're in a detour right now, stop beating yourself up. You might be right where you're supposed to be. Another reason the right path messes with us, it's because it's based on external values and not internal ones. Society tells you that success means income, title, social status, and milestones. But maybe your soul is actually craving freedom, peace, connection, creativity, and purpose. There is a massive disconnect. You'll always feel like something is missing if you're chasing someone else's idea of success. So here's the hard question. What do you actually value? Not what your parents want for you, not what Instagram rewards you for, not what your degree trained you for. What do you want? What lights you up? Because once you figure that out, even just a little, your life starts aligning. Not instantly, but slowly with intention. And nobody talks about chasing the right path can come at a cost. You might wake up in a job that pays you well, but it drains you. And you might stay in a relationship that looks perfect on paper, but it leaves you feeling alone. You might spend years building a life that you don't actually want. And the scariest part, society will applaud you for it, and they'll tell you that you're doing great, while your inner world is quietly falling apart. And that's the hidden price of doing what's expected, and only you can decide if it's worth it. Let's talk about what to do instead, because this isn't about rejecting the traditional path, it's about creating your own. So here are a few things that can help. Number 1 is self-awareness. Start noticing what energizes you and what drains you. And be honest, if something feels off, that's data. You can apply that over time and really narrow down what you feel like you really want to do and what gives you purpose in life. And this will cause you to get out of your comfort zone and really think about it. Number 2 is vision. Think long term. Not in terms of titles or income, but feelings. How do you want your life to feel safe, free, stimulating, calm? Having a clear long-term vision is another form of getting you out of bed every day and giving you purpose. That alone can give you self-fulfillment. And don't worry too much about income. Obviously, you need to make your money, and that will come over time if you're clearly executing a long-term vision plan. Number 3 is permission to evolve. Who you were at 18 is not who you are at 23 or 30 or 40. Let yourself change. That is growth. That's one of the biggest things in life, is constantly changing and growing out of yourself. And that's completely fine. We may be done physically growing, but you can still have a lot of mental growing pains. And it's not always comfortable at all, but this is, it puts you forward in life. The world is always going to keep spinning, and time don't wait for anyone. So keep growing. And number 4 is community. Surround yourself with people who get it, who support your curiosity, who don't shame you for trying something different. Community is where a lot of the opportunities can come from, and that's how you network and grow. And honestly, the people you spend the most time with can either make or break your long-term vision and your goals. I feel like it's pretty black and white for the most part. People will either drag you up or drag you down, so you choose. And number 5 is flexibility. There is no perfect plan. Try things, course correct. The goal isn't to get it all right, it's to stay real along the way. And this goes into what I said earlier, not being afraid to pivot. And don't shame yourself for it either. Being okay with this and taking action on this constantly and learning to pivot and adapt to your environments and adapt to what's new can actually eliminate a lot of anxiety as well. Combine these 5 things together and you're going to be golden as long as you stay consistent. And the truth is, the right path is just a story. It's just a blueprint that worked for some people in a different time. But you're not here to live someone else's life. You're here to find your way, to build something that's true to who you are. And that takes courage, it takes patience, it takes walking roads that don't always make sense to other people. But in the end, it is the only right path that will truly fulfill you. So if you're feeling lost, maybe you're not lost at all. Maybe you're just finally stepping off the myth and onto your truth. And I'm here to join you with that. I'll be documenting my journey as well throughout this process. And thank you for watching. If this hit home, subscribe, there's more to come. And I'm building this community for us.